Dear students, today's topic is special sensory organs. Among them, we will start with the olfactory apparatus. There are two major categories of sensations. There are somatic sensations and special sensations. What are somatic sensations? Pain, temperature, touch, pressure. These are the somatic sensations. There are receptors for these sensations which are structurally simple and they are widely distributed throughout the skin and deeper tissues. Then what we are concerned is the special sensations. What are those special sensations? They are the smell, taste, hearing, equilibrium and vision. The receptors for these sensations are complex. They are seen in specialized sensory organs that will provide the special senses. What are special senses? Are those whose sensory receptors are within large complex sensory organs located in the head. These senses and their respective organs include the following. What are those special sensory organs? One is the eye, where the visual apparatus is located and it is concerned with vision. The other one is the ear, where auditory apparatus concerned with hearing and vestibular apparatus concerned with balance are located. Then the third one is the nose, where olfactory apparatus concerned with the smell is located. The last one is the tongue, where the sensation of taste is perceived by the special apparatus located there, that is the taste buds. Now, let us consider the olfactory apparatus. Olfactory means smell. So, the apparatus concerned with smell. The sensation of olfaction is a purely sensory function. The components of the olfactory apparatus are olfactory epithelium that contains the olfactory receptors, which are bipolar neurons. The olfactory nerve, olfactory bulb, olfactory tract, olfactory area of cerebrum. These are the components of olfactory apparatus. Let me repeat the components. Olfactory epithelium that contains olfactory receptors, olfactory nerve, olfactory bulb, olfactory tract, olfactory area of cerebrum. Then we will consider the olfactory pathway and briefly describe the clinical importance of the olfactory apparatus. Now, let us start with the olfactory epithelium. In this picture, what you are seeing is the cut section, sagittal section of the head and neck, where this is the cranial cavity and this is the nasal cavity and this is the oral cavity. And in the lateral wall of the nasal cavity, there are the three conchae will be there. They are the superior concha, middle concha and inferior concha. The nasal cavity is separated from the oral cavity by the hard palate. This is the hard palate, and then posteriorly this is the soft palate, and this is the tongue, and this is the roof of oral cavity. And olfactory epithelium is seen in the superior part of the nasal cavity, covering the inferior surface of cribriform plate of ethmoid. This is the cribriform plate of ethmoid, and this is the inferior surface of it, where the olfactory epithelium will be seen, and this epithelium extends down along the superior nasal concha. So this is the olfactory epithelium seen in the roof of nasal cavity underneath the cribriform plate of ethmoid bone and extending onto the superior nasal concha. Then the next one is the olfactory receptors. These olfactory receptors are the complex sensory structures that are present in the olfactory epithelium in relation with the roof of nasal cavity. Now, let us see about the olfactory receptors. These are chemoreceptors. Along with the taste receptors, they help in food selection because we usually smell food at the same time we taste it. What is the location of these olfactory receptors? These are yellowish brown masses of epithelium in the upper part of nasal cavity. And in this picture, what you are seeing is the medial wall of the nasal cavity. This is the nasal septum, we call it. And this is the superior part of the nasal septum, where the olfactory receptors will be there in the olfactory epithelium. So, previous slide you have seen the lateral wall of nasal cavity, where you could identify the superior nasal concha, and in this picture you are identifying the superior part of nasal septum, which contain the olfactory epithelium containing the olfactory receptors, which are concerned with the sensation of smell. What is the type of neurons in the olfactory epithelium? These olfactory receptor cells that are present here are bipolar neurons. So, the olfactory receptors are bipolar neurons. Now, let us go into details of the olfactory epithelium that contains the olfactory receptor cells, which are bipolar neurons. Look at the picture. So, this is the roof of nasal cavity. We are seeing the epithelium. This is the olfactory epithelium containing these yellow ones are olfactory receptor cells, that is bipolar neurons. So, a bipolar neuron will have two poles, and one pole you are seeing the dendritic processes which are projecting towards the roof of nasal cavity, and on the other side or at the other end of the olfactory neuron you are seeing the axon, which is passing through the sieve-like openings in the cribriform plate of ethmoid bone. This is the cribriform plate of ethmoid bone, which will be having small apertures, Through that, the axons, they are going towards the cranial cavity. And the cells, if you observe, apart from the bipolar neurons, there are columnar supporting cells, columnar epithelial cells we are seeing here. So, the olfactory receptor cells are bipolar neurons, and they are sensitive to the odors, and they have knob-like dendritic projections that are coming from one side of the cell body, and there is unmyelinated axon extending from the other side, and which is the axon processes. They are passing through the cribriform plate of ethmoid and going towards the base of the brain, forebrain especially. That is the area to which they are going. So this is the same cut section of the nasal cavity you are seeing. So this is the roof of that nasal cavity, where you can see the olfactory epithelium and the olfactory nerves passing through the cribriform plate of ethmoid. Now, let us see what is olfactory nerve. So, bundles of axons of olfactory receptors, they are passing through nearly 20 olfactory foramina in the cribriform plate of ethmoid bone and each side of the nose. These 40 or so bundles of axons collectively form the right and left olfactory nerves. So, in this picture, you are seeing the fascicles of olfactory nerves passing through the cribriform plate of ethmoid bone towards a structure called the olfactory bulb in the base of the forebrain. This is the forebrain, the frontal lobe of the cerebrum you are seeing. Now let us see the further course of the olfactory nerves that has pierced the foramina in the cribriform plate of ethmoid bone. And these, after piercing the foramina in the cribriform plate of ethmoid, they will be reaching a mass of grey matter, and one each lying on either side of the crista gully of the ethmoid bone. So, they are reaching the paired mass, which is called the olfactory bulb. So, it's a paired mass of grey matter, and it is lying on either side of the crista gully of the ethmoid bone. The olfactory nerves, which are the axon terminals of olfactory receptors in the olfactory epithelium, in the roof of the nasal cavity, they are going towards the olfactory bulb to synapse with the dendrites, and cell bodies of the next order neurons in the olfactory pathway. These are the next order neurons in the olfactory pathway, which are located in the olfactory bulb. Then the next one is the olfactory tract. The axons of neurons in the olfactory bulb, they form the olfactory tract, which is extending posteriorly from the olfactory bulb, and it goes to the olfactory area in the temporal lobe of cerebrum. So, now in this slide, you know what is olfactory bulb and what is olfactory tract and what happens to the olfactory nerves, where they will relay in the olfactory bulb neurons and from which the olfactory tract starts. In this picture, you can see the olfactory neurons here, and then the processes of this bipolar neurons passing through cribriform plate and going towards the nerve cells in the olfactory pathway in relation with the olfactory bulb. You can see the dendrites of those cells of olfactory bulb, and the axons from this cells in the olfactory bulb, they are passing as olfactory tract. So you can see them passing towards the olfactory bulb and olfactory tract in relation with the base of the brain, and this is the frontal lobe in relation with the inferior surface of frontal lobe. You will be seeing this olfactory bulb and olfactory tract. So axons in the olfactory tract end in the primary olfactory area in the temporal lobe of the cerebral cortex. Now, after studying the various components of the olfactory apparatus, let us see how the sensation of smell is conveyed to the cerebrum. It is the olfactory pathway we will consider, and you can follow with the picture that is present here. So, where does the olfactory pathway start? The bipolar neurons in the olfactory mucosa. From there, it will be going towards the base of the brain, passing through cribriform plate of ethmoid bone as bundles of olfactory nerves. Then they go towards the olfactory bulb, which is seen in the base of frontal lobe of the cerebrum. And from there, the olfactory tract starts, which will be going to an area called the interpeduncular fossa in relation with the base of the brain. And from there, they go to the primary olfactory area in the temporal lobe of cerebrum. So this is the olfactory pathway. After learning the components of the olfactory apparatus and olfactory pathway, what is the clinical importance of olfactory nerve? There is a condition called anosmia, which is the loss of sense of smell. What could be the causes of the anosmia, that is loss of sense of smell? Infections of nasal mucosa, head injuries, if there is fracture of cribriform plate of ethmoid, this anosmia can occur. Then lesions along the olfactory pathway or in the brain. Meningitis can also cause anosmia. Smoking, cocaine use. So you have learned the olfactory apparatus, pathway and its clinical importance.